nevertheless, I am joyous. I am filled with joy by these sites. And I wanted to talk about trying to figure out why. Now, there are obvious and important benefits to making this sort of data transparent. These sites let us fact check. They let us take over, repurpose, and mash up. They let us hold people, indeed, accountable. I Googled for handcuffs, okay? Sorry. And I don't want to take those things for granted, but that's not what's making me so happy. My delight goes deeper even than the sum total of these sorts of sites that come from our friends at Sunlight Foundation and others. We're doing some amazing stuff. But the sum of my joy at these, at sites like data.gov, at the transparency of facts and data, is larger even than the sum total of my happiness at applications like these. So why am I so happy? Well, I think it has to do with a very welcome change in the role, the very peculiar role that facts play in our culture. Facts form a solid, indisputable basis for discussion and decision. What are they? Facts, very simple. I mean, you know all this. I'll be extremely fast. Fact is a state of the world that gets captured frequently in a statement that's true if it represents the fact. Facts are, in fact, they're binary. They're either true or they're not true. Facts are, they're relatively scarce, not entirely, but relatively scarce, simply because most things are not facts. Most possible statements just aren't facts. So they're relatively scarce anyway. They aren't all in a big pile. They go together in some coherent, consistent order. There is a right ordering of facts. This is how we have, this is the role that facts have played in our culture. They are, it doesn't matter who says a fact. It's independent of the voice. They're objective. A fact is a fact, which means if two people disagree, only one of them can be right, which means that we use facts to settle arguments. They are discussion closers. They nail things down. And when all you have are nails, everything looks like a hammer. And what's the aim of this hammering? Of hammering things down? Well, it's to drive out disagreement, to drive out difference. So our infatuation with facts of this sort has a history. They really came into their own in the early part of the 19th century, precisely because of their utility in settling social issues, issues of policy. The utilitarians, Jeremy Bentham, inculcated a culture of reliance, of gathering of facts about social life, and using those facts to settle in an objective way what policy should be. They tried to put social policy and politics on a factual basis. But by the 1850s, when Dickens wrote Hard Times, people were already pretty fed up with facts. Mr. Gradgrind in Hard Times says facts, facts, facts. And in the 1860s, there were already members of Parliament who were saying things like, if you wanted to hide a question, the best plan is to bury it in a blue book, which is one of the repositories of facts. So we were already getting tired of facts. We were feeling overwhelmed by them in 1860. In the 20th century, we go from facts to information, something a little bit richer, and information to data in the age of information. Data is a type of formal, as you know, a type of formal code. It's designed for machines so they can manage the flood of stuff that's coming in. If machines can read holes at regular intervals, then that's what data became. And so we entered the age of information really pretty ambivalent about the age of information. We did not like computers when they first came along. We had cultural artifacts, movies like this, in which actually a band of women, which is not accidental, women librarians, corporate librarians, are fighting the man with his conformity, with his efficiency, his ruthless paring down of everything to facts, 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 and data, data, data. We did not like computers. We did not like data. And we were right. Our basic concern was basically right. Information was born and created to be managed. Information, in fact, in the information age is all about paring down the amount of information so that we can put it into a database so we can manage it. Information and control go together. Information was designed to be controlled. It is designed to be a reduction of the complex to the simple that can be controlled. So we were right to be concerned about the information age. And so you look at this person now, in the age of the web, and it's entirely different, right? It's all about links. not facts, not information. It's about links. Links that are not in a set of columns decided top-down by somebody else, but are entirely bottom-up, that are created to express what any one person wants, creating an endless universe of links expressed in the richness of actual, real language, like words. So we go from facts to data, and then to hyperlinks. And this is the opposition that I want to explore, because I think this is what's going on in the age of transparency, and what's making me so happy about it. So clearly, this is the hyperlinked age. We can think of hyperlinks as being a new type of punctuation, whereas most punctuation tells you where to stop. Hyperlinks tell you how to continue, how to go on. They beg you to invite you to go on and on and on forever. Very, as you know, again, very opposite the notion of a book. So books contain what's in them, and once printed, books settle the matter. It's done, it's a closed book. Hyperlinks point away in all directions at once, which is the actual definition of an explosion. So links are explosive and highly unsettling. So you compare this explosiveness to the world that facts build. Facts are settled, they're firm, facts are difficult to establish. It's hard to do, which gives them much of their weight. Links are incredibly easy to make. Anybody can make one, and for better or worse, they create a world, these links do, that's unsettled and in constant disagreement. Because that's what links do. They're all about differences. Right? This is like that, it's related to that, but it's different from that. It's an amplification, it's a rejection, it's a disagreement. Facts go together to create a unified world. There's this wall of facts. Links constantly explode into difference. Difference that will never be resolved the way that the utilitarians hoped in the early 19th century. So this is sort of an optimistic sounding thing, but I cannot argue very well, anyway, with Dana's facts, and she's right. So I'm not saying that the web is only a festival that celebrates difference, everybody accepting everybody who's different in every way and all ideas, and we all become open, accepting people, because that doesn't happen. It may happen to some degree, a lot or a little, but the people who argue that, in fact, the web reinforces our old views rather than opening us up to new ones, who say that the web consists of a series of echo chambers, so there's truth there as well. And what's the right balance between those two? Don't know, we don't have time to consider, and besides, that question itself, does the web open us up or close us down, is highly suspect. There's something very wrong with that question.